Still thinking about a name for it, you know?
I think we're going to stick with First Form, dude.
First form. You probably don't watch Dragon Ball Z at all, do you?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
Is that where it's like kind of from, or?
No, but like I was telling my son about it I was like, what do you think about this? And he was like, oh, it's like Dragon Ball Z. You know, when he's in his first form and then he's going to elevate and get better. And I was like,
Just how we're going to elevate and get bigger.
yeah, I guess kind of. But not a cartoon, son.
Definitely not a cartoon. No animated stuff.
No animated stuff.
Oh, man.
Although we can get animated here. You know, we're going to talk about everything.
Oh, yeah, everything.
So,
all topics.
um,
All topics of question. So, what do you think of like the younger generation now? Like how it's transformed so much since you've been like younger.
it's a tough question.
Yeah,
We're gonna start hurting feelings at the very beginning of this.
It's a sensitive topic, but who cares?
So between you and I, you know, we've had the discussion. There's like a 17-year age gap. And I hate to use stereotypes when I'm talking about this type of stuff, but you know, my generation comes from, you know, 80s, 90s babies, work hard, stay out until, you know, the street lights come on, and then you come back home. There's no cell phones. Your mama's whistle was how you got back in. You know, you found out where all your friends were at because you'd pull up at Mikey's house and there'd be 40 bikes laying out front. And that's how you knew where your friends were.
Yeah.
You know, now it's, you know, straight to the phone and there's an ease of access. What I do love about the younger generation, and let me start with the love, is that younger people are so quick to adapt to change. And I feel like the older generation, that's where they lack. You know, so like podcasters that are my age and a little bit older, they don't want to do things different because they don't want to adapt. They don't want to change their life. They don't want to change what's going on. You know, like the Google algorithm is changing. The YouTube algorithm is changing. Instagram's algorithm is changing. But they don't want to change. They've been doing what they've doing. They've been doing what they're doing for so long that they're just stuck.
Yeah.
So I love the fact that young people can adapt and overcome just like that.
Yeah, they sure can. Sometimes it's pretty bad though, like what they adapt to. You know what I mean? I mean,
Yes.
me and you know what social media is full of nowadays, and we know what it's transforming people into. So.
Absolutely. But, you know, when we talk about the younger generation, I can't exclude you. You're completely different, man. You're not the stereotypical 18-year-old kid.
Definitely not. I mean, I've seen a lot of kids my age, and sometimes I look at them in disbelief. I'm like, you really do that? Like, you really act like this? I'm like, you act like you're fucking 12.
Yeah. The mindset that you have at 18 years old, I'm proud of you, dude.
It's a gift from God, and I blame my parents and up and coming too as well. But honestly, I feel like it was more of myself and trying to train myself into not being that person. You know what I mean? Because I have like big aspirations to be something someday. You know what I mean? And be someone that actually has some impact here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like change lives and stuff like that. But that's who I've wanted to be for like a long time. And then finally, beginning this year, I started taking that first step. You know what I mean? Started my YouTube channel and then moved on to time just continued going on. And then I started getting blessed with opportunities like this right here. Like this was amazing. I mean, dude, we literally started this because I told you, let's get coffee together. And then, well, actually, you wrote me the note after the grand opening. And then I was like, oh, shoot, okay. Then I remembered and I was like, okay, yeah, let's grab some coffee. And here we are.
Yeah.
Right?
And, you know, taking advantage of situations is one thing that I'm really good at. When a situation arises, I try and take advantage of it. And so sending out handwritten notes to some people, they're going to be like, I don't have time for that. I'm not going to waste my time with that.
That's meaningful, bro. I was like shocked when I got it. I'm like, oh, shoot. Like he took his time to send everybody this. My mom got one and stuff like that too. So I was like,
yeah,
this is cool, bro. Like I like this. It's like you took your time to do it. And you're also building relationships with people because people are realizing that. They're like, oh, dude, this guy just sent me like a handwritten note. This guy's a cool guy. He's a solid dude. So
try to be.
Yeah.
Try to be.
Yeah, man.
But back to, you know, the topic of the younger generation. Expectations, I believe, are different. you know? So I can't expect from the younger crowd to do what I do. But, you know, I always try and go back and I think about, man, if I was 17 or if I was 18, I wish I had somebody like me in my life at that point who could help me and tell me, oh, hey, if you take this path here, you know, you'll be making 6 figures, 7 figures, you know. And what I think is nuts is today 6 figures isn't anything. You know, like you have to make 7 figures to have the lifestyle that I wanted when I was a younger kid. And you don't realize that at a young age. But you're not going to make that in a 9 to 5. You're not going to make that being a barista at, you know, the local coffee shop. You need to own the coffee shop.
Yeah.
You know,
Definitely.
and you got to bet on yourself. You know, like, let's go back to your detailing. You know, you could detail cars for anybody, but you're like, nah, I'm going to start my own detailing business.
Mm-hmm.
Your mom, she could sell real estate for anybody, but she's like, no, I'm going to start my own real estate company. My wife, she could do woodworking for anybody. She's like, no, I'm going to start my own woodworking company. You know, like I have my own coaching stuff. You know, I do mortgages with Win Mortgage. I don't want to own.
Yeah.
I don't want to own. But
Some people don't.
But my reason is because I have an entrepreneurial spirit, and I just don't want to be locked down and always have to worry about doing mortgages for Win Mortgage when I have other stuff going on. I have coaching going on. I have raising my boys, and you know, hopefully my boys are going to play professional soccer, and you know, they can pay for daddy later on. So
There you go.
you know, I have other things in mind, and I think that younger generations are having that mindset now, and they're not wanting to do the 9 to 5.
Yeah. So,
Half and half.
I mean, people say that because there's a lot of stuff on social media. Like you see these people with like millions on social media doing the same shit, podcasts, this, that, and like they're flexing all their money, cars, this, that. They're saying, oh, don't go to college, don't get a 9 to 5, start a business, this, that. I feel like that gives a lot of kids an excuse to be like, I'm not going to college, or I don't want to do school anymore because this guy here who has millions of dollars like told me not to. You know what I mean? Like if you desire to do that and you have that drive to go start a business and try your best and like actually succeed in it, then good, you're going to do it. But if you're just sitting around doing nothing all day, then you're better off going to college and getting some regular job than just sitting around talking about your dreams and what you want to do and what you want to be and telling your parents, oh, I'm starting this business, but doing nothing to excel in that. You know what I mean?
So do you think college is senseless, or do you think it's useful?
It's useful to certain people. For me, I feel like it's senseless. I feel like I can do so much more outside of college. I feel like I can get so much more done in the span of 4 years than I would in college getting in debt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there is kids out there that do say they want to do this stuff or start a business or be rich, but they also use it as an excuse not to go back to school. But college is good for those kids because if you're not doing anything, you should do something. You know what I mean? So it's not totally bad. It's not totally like off the chart and stuff like that too. But for certain people, it's not for them.
I like.
A very small percentage of people.
I don't know why that keeps going off on my phone on silent. I like the military, man. You know, I like.
Military is good too.
I mean, obviously, I'm a veteran, so I'm gonna be biased to that. But I wasn't a college guy either. When I was your age, I joined the military early. I had a delayed entry program at 16. Left for boot camp when I was 17. I knew I wanted to be in the military. I knew I didn't want to go to college because college wasn't for me. I didn't want to go to school. I have so many friends that went to college and got these awesome degrees, and they're paying like $80,000 to $100,000 in student loan debt. Daddy, I got zero.
Yeah, but
And
going
I'm making
to college,
more money than them.
yeah, but going to college is better than doing nothing. You know what I mean? If
Going to college is better than doing nothing.
Mhm.
But there's other things. I mean, you have the military, and the military, for me, I'm a different person. For me, it taught me how to be a man, right? Because I didn't have the greatest upbringing from my mom and dad. So it taught me how to be a man. It taught me how to be ruthless, but also share love. You know, it taught me to do things in life. It taught me to hold myself accountable. And I think that's important. I mean, my accountability is part of this podcast, period. You know, like if I didn't have the accountability that I had from the military, we wouldn't be here today. So I think military, for those people who don't want to go to college and have no entrepreneurship in their blood,
it's a career path.
it's something that they could at least try out until they they settle and figure out what they want to do.
Yeah.
What's crazy though is you could just turn on a camera and then one thing goes viral and then you're important.
That is true. It's so easy to go viral nowadays too, with the algorithm and stuff like that too. As long as you post consistently and you post stuff that like the algorithm loves on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, whatever.
Yeah.
It can go viral. Like it's so easy to get famous. More people are getting famous now than like before all this scrolling TikTok stuff.
Yeah.
Even on social media, just like posting, like before Instagram had Reels, before TikTok even existed.
Yeah.
Like it was difficult to get famous, and you actually had to do something important, post on YouTube, just like work your way up for years. But like, dude, the TikTok and Instagram is literally making people famous overnight.
It's crazy. I was in a mastermind group with people in our industry that it was called Leverage Socials. And that's all they did was talk about social media and how to make your social media better. And, you know, I follow that I'm the Florida mortgage guy. I follow that mortgage guy, right? And the Alabama mortgage guy. And Amanda Nutter from A Nutter Home Loan. And I got so much inspiration from them. And, you know, unfortunately for me, I got hurt. I got in that accident like midway through the mastermind course. I had to miss a couple weeks from it, but the way that they were doing their social media, it was all about adapting. And like I was telling you, I think that's what my generation is lost in. Like no one wants to adapt. They don't want to change immediately. They don't want to skip that next beat and be different. They see that something's working. They want to hold on to that forever and just milk it for everything that it's worth. Mm-hmm. But you can't do that today. If you want to make money and you want to be an entrepreneur, you got to be ready to change on the dime.
100%. And you have to dedicate all of your time to it too.
Yeah.
That's why it's called a risk. You know what I mean? Like you can go get a 9-to-5 and then guarantee your paycheck every week, right? But like there's going to come a point where in your entrepreneurial path to where you're going to have to stop doing that and just risk it all, send your money all in this one path here. And then you're just going to have to risk it all, risk your time, risk everything, risk not getting paid every week. Mm-hmm. To hopefully something big happens.
Right.
And I believe in if you work hard enough and if you actually like try your best, it'll work out.
Yeah, but if you don't have that dog in you, dude,
you're not going to do it. If you can't wake up every single morning, if you can't work 12 hours a day, and if you can't focus on something for more than like 2 hours like at a time, it's not going to work, dude.
Yeah, if you're that guy that's got a 9-to-5, and let me tell you, I'm not talking shit about anybody that has a 9-to-5.
I respect people with that.
Because all of those people, we need people working at McDonald's. We need people working at Buc-ee's. We need people working at Walmart. We need you guys.
Yeah.
But if you're that person that is going to work at that 9-to-5 and you can't even get up and get to work on time, please don't step foot in the entrepreneurial world. Because I got to tell you, yes, I'm successful. Mm-hmm. Okay. What do you think I'm successful because I wake up at 10 o'clock in the morning? No, I'm up at 5. I'm working out. I'm on my bike riding. I'm answering emails, having coffee, having a Bible study with the wife before we even wake the kids up. Then I'm getting breakfast ready, going through more emails, getting a list of realtors ready to cold call, and getting a list of buyers ready to cold call. I'm hopping on Zillow, seeing what's for sale, what's local, what agents have listed. Maybe we can offer a 2-1 buy down or something to help them out.
You're working. That's the thing. You're working.
Right. And then when I get to my office, right, on the way to my office, I'm going to hit the coffee shop and invite a real estate agent over to come have coffee with me. And by the time I get to the office, boom, I got a power hour. I got an hour that I'm going to be spending just talking to agents. And then I got another power hour just talking to clients. And you get so busy that you got to hire somebody. So you hire an assistant to help gather your paperwork for you because you realize that your time is more valuable than anything that you're doing. I think we did, me and Rick sat down and we were working on our time and our money, and we're like, hey, what is your time worth? And if you took our paychecks and you split everything up in a 40-hour week or whatever like that, it was something like $195 an hour. That's what I'm worth. To work 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
What are you worth? Are you going to get out and bust your ass like that? Because waking up at 15 minutes late is not going to help you. So last podcast we were chatting about like a morning routine. Like you're like, man, I don't believe in that.
I truly don't. However,
I do.
I mean, it depends on what it is. Like, if you're going to tell me to go meditate, eat a certain way, and like wake up at like a stupid early time and just spend all my time doing meditations, eating, freaking going on a morning run and stuff like that. Like, I'm about money, right?
Right.
And I know I'm not going to make money eating a certain way. I know I'm not going to make money going to the gym. I know I'm not going to make money meditating, right? And that's why I say I don't believe in a morning routine. Like, I know I'm not going to make money making my bed in the morning too.
Right.
However, going to the gym is important to me because I will build my health and I will build like myself. I will look better, which is why I do that every morning. And I'm not going to sit here and like meditate though, or make my bed, because that just doesn't make sense to me. That's just my thought process with that.
Everyone's different. I don't expect people to wake up and go lift the weight that I lift. I don't expect people to go ride the 22 miles every morning that I ride. I don't expect people to live my life. You will never be me. No one watching this podcast will ever be Steven Swarner. They can be their own. I do believe in creating positive habits for yourself and having a morning routine, but your routine and my routine is going to be completely different.
And I don't think anyone should be the same.
I don't think anybody should be the same.
I think you should be you. You know what I mean? Like, even when I post videos on YouTube, like, I recently looked at other people's channels and stuff. I'm like, okay, well, this is working for them, so let me just copy the style. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then I realized, like, that worked for them, but no one else as big as them has that same style. So you have to create your own type of style. Like, you have to create your own editing style. You have to create your own way that you speak, because you're never gonna be that person if you just copy exactly what they're doing. You're always gonna be below them. So the only chance you have of getting above them or on their level is just being you, doing what you do best, not what they do best.
I agree. So I will disagree with the morning routine though.
I know.
I mean, I think
we can leave it at that. That's fine.
I gotta have it. I mean, but that's me.
It's a good habit though. You're exercising, you're doing that, and you're building yourself though. You're going out there and you're staying healthy. You're eating properly.
It's also networking for me, right? So, I do a Bible study with my wife, but sometimes, like on Fridays, I do a Bible study with
that's important
with some local men's a local men's group, right? So I network with those guys. I got some Christian businessmen that I do business with, right? So. And then, if I decide to go work out at the gym instead of at my house, boom, I'm networking. I'm wearing Win Mortgage, right? I'm wearing the Florida Mortgage Guy shirt, walking around. Hey, man, you do mortgages? Sure do. Yep. I also lift weights. Give me a minute. Let me finish my set.
Yeah.
If like I start riding bikes, you go on these group rides, your net worth is your network. Once you start implementing yourself in all these places, you start planting seeds, you're going to be successful. But that's why when I go to do this morning routine, I try and invite people into it, but in different zones. I've got my biker friends. I've got my gym friends. I've got my real estate friends. I got my childhood friends that are knuckleheads. But if you were to ask anybody from my life and my livelihood, like, what is Steven Swarner? They were like, that dude is a chameleon. I'll hang with trailer park trash. I'll hang out in the projects. I'll hang out in $1 million condos. I'll hang out on the back of your yacht. I'll hang out with nerds, emos. I don't care what you are, man. You're a human being to me. So, yeah, everybody's got something good that they can bring to the table. And if you don't, your network is your net worth. So who I keep around me, if it's not beneficial, then, I'm not going to waste my time. And some people say that's superficial. Like, oh, I'm nothing to you, so you don't want to be around me. There's 8 billion people in this world.
Mm-hmm.
If you spent your time being happy all the time and being positive and having motivation, and then surround yourself with people that are like-minded to you, you're going to live the happiest life that you could want.
You also want to surround yourself with people that you want to be like too.
Yeah.
So I believe we had this conversation last podcast, but I mean, you are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with, right? It's a really famous saying. So if you spend your time around people who have accomplished everything that you want to accomplish, have made the dollar amount that you want to make, has the network that you want, then eventually, over time, you're going to be hanging out with these people so much that you're just going to become like them, and you're going to get everything that they have, like, built into you. You know what I mean? Because of the fact that you spent so much time around them, you learned everything, and then you ended up just taking on everything that you want to accomplish because of that fact.
Yeah.
I mean, I've noticed it too. Like if I surround myself, like as a younger teenager, if I surrounded myself with people that weren't doing anything or were just doing like regular teenage bull crap, that's what I was doing.
Yeah.
But if I put myself around people who are trying to start a business or trying to make money or trying to become really big in the gym or whatnot, and just like, then I focus on that too. I want to become that. And it motivates me too. Like whenever I see someone working harder than me, it low-key pisses me off because I'm like, shit, now I gotta like go work harder. Like I have a buddy of mine, like if he wakes up like at 7 o'clock in the morning and I wake up at like 8 or 9, I'm like, fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Like that's what motivates me, is having people around me that are like doing better than me. So I'm like, okay, let me fucking get my shit straight and let me get on their level and try and do better than them. It's like a friendly competition. You know what I mean? I don't look at them as competition. However, it's like a friendly competition.
So what happens when you get on their level? You find bigger friends?
Everyone levels up. You want to have friends that are constantly leveling up.
Right.
You want to have friends that are leveling up with you. If you have a friend that's falling behind, then why they're not good for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying drop them completely, but if you have friends that are falling behind, eventually you're going to fall behind.
Yep.
Just like I said, the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So if your friends are constantly leveling up and you're leveling up with them too, as long as they're going up and they're not taking it down, then dude, that's good to be around. Even if you end up higher than them and they're still going up, you're good, dude. Like those are good friends. Those are good people to be around.
All right. What do you think about my generation?
Your generation? I love it, dude. All my friends are older.
All my friends are older. He is not lying. He is.
Younger people are just like, I just can't be around it, man. Like it just like my mind, just like seeing what they're doing. It's just like, how the fuck, man? Like it doesn't make any sense to me. And then I hang around these older people, and like more mature teenagers, and then I'm like, okay, this is like I can deal with this. I can tolerate this. Like I like hanging out with these people because they want to do something, and then it gives me something to talk about. Like every time I'm on the phone with somebody, it's not to talk about, oh, how's this going, or how's life, or you want to go out and do this tomorrow. It's not about bullshit party females. It's like every time I'm on the phone with my buddy, it's like, how much money did you make this week? How many closings did you have?
Right.
How many deals did you make?
God,
did you go to the gym this week? Did you go to the gym today? Like that's our conversations, and they go on and on and on for hours. Like I'll be in my room at like 11 o'clock at night. My boy will call me, or I'll call him, and we'll just fucking talk it up about everything. We'll be like, oh, this guy's doing this with his business, or this guy, I met this guy who's doing this, who pitched this idea to this guy. Like that's our conversations.
Yeah.
And if you don't have conversations like that, you're not gonna end up like that.
I'm gonna tell you, man. Some of those knucklehead friends that like I have from like in my past, you know, they're good people and they're A1s. You know, super loyal guys. Would do anything. I could call him right now and be like, man, I got a flat tire. I'm in Florida. He's in Tennessee. He'll drop everything and come down.
Mm-hmm.
But he wants it's always like, hey man, who's a better basketball player, Michael Jordan or LeBron James? I don't give a fuck, dude.
Yeah, who cares?
I don't care. Like they're both great players. I don't have time for that fucking argument of who's the greatest.
Do you watch a lot of sports?
I watch a ton of sports.
Okay.
Right? But I don't put my life onto it. I love boxing. Boxing's my favorite sport. If somebody came up to me and was like, who's your favorite boxer? My favorite boxer of all time is Mike Tyson. Okay? If somebody says, who's the greatest, Mike Tyson or Muhammad Ali, I don't give a fuck. I don't have time. That shit's going to start an argument. My favorite's Mike Tyson. I like Mike Tyson because he's a powerful heavyweight. He's great. I used to love the way he talked shit back in the day. Like, I love Mike Tyson. And I love who he is today. You know, he's
Isn't he fighting Jake Paul or some shit?
I think maybe in November he'll fight Jake Paul now. And I think that's a lose-lose for Jake Paul. I mean, here's the thing. If you knock out Mike Tyson, you did knock out Mike Tyson.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Mike Tyson is old, bro.
You know,
he's older.
58 years old, so you knocked out a 58 out of the prime.
He can still fight. Jake Paul's in his, what is he in? He's like less than 30.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like 28 years old.
Yeah.
Dude's in amazing shape. He's got the best trainers in the world. He's got hundreds of millions of dollars to spend on this shit. He's got the best dietitians. Mike Tyson has the money too. He could do all that, but he's got that age gap, dude. Yeah. Like Mike Tyson has potential to beat the shit out of him, but dude, Jake Paul, I mean, honestly, just going over like logically, like who has the higher chance of winning? The guy who's
Mike
28.
Tyson has grown man strength, so
Yeah.
I mean, there's the potential. Here's the thing: if you knock out Mike Tyson, cool, you knocked out a 58-year-old Mike Tyson. If you don't knock out Mike Tyson, you just got your ass kicked by Mike Tyson, and he's 58 years old. It's lose-lose, But at the end of the day, it's money. That's somebody I'm gonna try and put myself around. If somebody was like, "Hey man, Jake Paul's outside. You want to go hang out with him?" Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
That dude. Again, he's younger than me. He's from a different generation, but that dude's mindset and motivation to get better. Some people care so much about the fucking drama that him and his brother caused. They don't give a fuck
Money.
what you think. Your opinion's not paying their bills.
That's why it's all over social media, dude.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that like
And
makes me think a little bit. I'm like, dude,
and
these
you
people are all
love
about it. Yes.
You love it. Why pay attention to that shit? If you love Jake Paul that fucking much, I wish you loved your fucking job that much. I wish you loved yourself that much so you get up and go to the fucking gym. I wish you loved your diet that much that your fat ass will fucking take some like meal prep ideas.
If people were so ecstatic about their lives, if they were more ecstatic about their lives than who's gonna win the next boxing match or what celebrity did this or that or who banged who, then they would be so much better off. Like they would be on the top. Like they would end up there on the top of the pyramid. But no, they're sitting down below, consuming everything that's available on social media. And then they wonder, why is my life so shit? Why can't I pay my bills? Why do I hate my fucking job? Why does my wife hate me? Why am I divorced?
Because they're doing this all day.
They're too busy
long.
fucking jacking off all day.
Oh,
and they
what's the next reel? What's the next reel?
literally.
And to say that I don't scroll would be dumb. I don't scroll a lot.
Not me either.
But I don't spend all my waking time on it.
I can control myself. Like I can catch myself scrolling. I could be like, all right, I'm looking through this. Like it's not dumb shit that I watch. It's literally fucking food and then real ideas is pretty much what I scroll through.
Mine is well, now it's the Hawk Tua girl. I think that's like all over the place, but
It's because you say it so much.
mine's fitness, motivation, military stuff, ministry stuff, like how to be a better man, how to be a better father. It's stuff like that. And then every now and then I get like the funny golf videos or something like that. Like
It's always gonna serve you comedy on there. They want you to laugh and look at it and this and
man.
that,
I think comedy is great. I turn everything into comedy, man. You can make anything comedic.
this guy's a funny guy.
The problem with making things comedic is you're gonna offend people. Do you think I give a fuck if I offend you?
Who fucking cares?
No, I don't care.
You're gonna be a soft little bitch and fucking be a soft little bitch. Who cares?
So let's go back to that generational question you asked me.
That's the generation question right there. That is literally the answer to it. They're fucking soft, bro. Gen Z
I don't care
is soft.
listen, do I want everybody to like me? Cool. Do I give a fuck if you hate me? No. I mean, look at The Rock, dude. The most liked person on Instagram. Everybody loves that guy. The same amount of people hate that guy. It doesn't matter. He's one of the richest actors in the world.
Well, you're always gonna have haters.
He's the biggest persona in the world. He does everything the way he wants to. People in his own genre, his like other celebrities, wrestlers, fucking hate him. I don't give a shit. That dude's motivational to me. I watch some of his stuff for motivation. Boom. I go on about my life. People will watch my stuff for motivation. Boom. Go on about your life. What I want people to get from our podcast is stop fucking worrying about everybody else. Worry about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could go and talk about politics. I think politics is crazy right now because
We're so hilarious subject.
we're so worried about everybody else. Dude, we have homeless veterans sitting on the side of the road. We have homeless people, period. Obviously my heart's out for veterans, but we have homeless people, period. But we're going to send money to Ukraine. We're going to send money to Israel. We're going to give some.
Yeah, but it's never going to change.
Yeah. And
We know that. No one's going to come out of the blue. Like, no billionaires are going to come out and be like, hey, I'm going to make and give you a home, you a home, you a home, then boom, no one's homeless. It's always going to be like that. Like, you can't change that. It doesn't matter.
We're giving money to Somalia every week. We're giving money to so many different countries.
Dude, didn't they give, like, how many billions to fucking Ukraine whenever that shit happened?
Too much. And
I think it was like $200 billion we shipped over there.
Yeah, and people are like, oh my gosh, I hate Biden. I hate Trump. Well, fucking vote for the middleman. When are we going to make the independent party live? You would like throw another party in there. Throw another individual. I don't give a fuck who you want to be a president. It can
Kanye 2024.
Kanye.
Oh, that's fucked, bro.
I just don't want people to bitch about shit if you're not gonna be the change that you want to see. Shout out to Muhammad Gandhi for that one. But like if you like, I think that's the perfect thing. Be the change you want to see. Nobody's gonna change your life, Jason.
No.
I'm not gonna do your real estate.
You're not gonna hold my
transaction for you.
hand. You're not gonna tell me to get up every morning at a certain time. You're not gonna sit here and tell me to go to the gym twice a day. Like no one's gonna do that for you. This is going back to that drive we were talking about. Like if you don't have that motivation, if you don't have that fire in you, if you don't have that drive to do better every single day and dedicate 12 hours of your day to just getting better and working, then you're never gonna be anything. You're never gonna do anything important with your life. You're going to sit here in this endless cycle. You're going to exist just like 95% of everybody. Actually, probably more than that. You're just going to exist. You're going to walk throughout your entire life and you're going to be meaningless. You're not going to have any impact on the world. If you don't have drive, if you don't have motivation, if you don't have, actually fuck motivation. You don't even need that. You just need discipline, you need drive, and you need consistency. That's what you fucking need. And
consistency.
Nobody has that.
I even struggle with that. And dude, I work hard every single day. I struggle with consistency. I struggle with that power hour. I struggle with that. And I try and tell, some of the guys that work for us, like, hey, this is what you should do with your time. Tweak it, make it your way because my way is not going to work for you. There are some real estate agents that are not going to like me, but they might like you and your personality, right? Yeah. So, take your mortgage mindset over there and go work with those people. If they don't like you, stop worrying about it. If they don't like you, just go find another real estate agent to work with. Mm-hmm. It's a very simple process, but people are so hell-bent on emotion. They're so hell-bent on like what other people think. The moment you get past what other people think, that's the first step that you're going to take to being successful. And I say that, as we just said, be the average of the 5 people you hang around the most. You should care what people better than you are doing. You should care what they think, unless it's not constructive criticism. Because some people above you might be like, fuck him, he's never going to make it. Mm-hmm. But some people might be like, hey, man.
Well, there are some cocky sons of bitches out there, though.
Absolutely. Yeah. You're one of them. I'm kidding.
Oh, thanks.
No, he's actually really humble. But, there's a group of like strong people that want to see everybody succeed. Mm-hmm. And they'll reach out, you were talking about climbing a mountain. You're going to pass your friends. I'm the type of guy. I'm going to turn around and stick my hand out. You going to grab my hand? Nope. Boom. I'm going to keep going. I'm not slowing down for nobody. Mm-hmm. Nobody. And my wife is probably the most insane person in the world. She's the craziest person in the world. And I say that because she supports me bar none. I can be like, babe, if I go swimming in that hurricane that's happening outside right now, I'm going to make some money off of it. And she'd be like, babe, you do it, but you bring your ass home. So she's always going to be one of my 5. But she's also the person that's like, hey, cut it out. You're doing too much.
Yeah. You need people like that in your life.
Yeah. And, it doesn't have to be your wife. You could have good friends. You could have somebody in your 5 has to be like that for you. Somebody who's going to push you when when you can't wake up in the morning or your alarm's going off and you're slapping the snooze button. Somebody's got to be that person that goes, yo, you're being a bitch. Wake the fuck up.
That's why it's important to have those people around you.
Every day.
That's what I'm saying. You need to have friends that are going up with you. Even if they're miles ahead of you, as long as you're moving upwards, then you're good.
I was watching a segment today. It's the 11th segment on the Tour de France. And there was this guy, I forgot his name. He was wearing the yellow jersey. He was like the world leader at the moment. And he was leading this race by a quarter of a mile, dude. That is a lot in biking. And he is climbing and he's just gaining and gaining and gaining. The closest group behind them was a group of 2 people, right? Those 2 people are enemies, but they're working together for a common goal to get caught up to that leader, right? By the end of the race, one of those dudes ends up passing him and then beating him by like a half tire length. That's huge in the Tour de France. That's huge. but it involves you working with people who you don't agree with every single day.
Well, I feel like people are always going to disagree about something.
Yeah,
If people agree about everything, then they're literally like either faking it or they're just not real. Like there is nobody that agrees with every single opinion that I think. There's no one that agrees with every single opinion that you think. And there's no one agrees what every single opinion what Joe Schmo thinks, dude. Like it doesn't work like that. Like everyone has different opinions. That's why
opinions don't pay my bills.
No, yeah, opinions don't pay your bills.
You and I have disagreements, and I think that that's okay, and we said,
add some spice to it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a huge age difference between you and I. I'm almost double your age, but dude, I've never met, somebody your age outside of my 13-year-old son who like has that drive, who has that dog in him, dude. My 13-year-old son, he's playing soccer. He plays for multiple leagues, and he's
keep his head on straight too, dude. I wish I like started doing a bunch of shit at 13. Like I wish I started posting on Instagram and all this shit at 13. That would have been crazy, but I just wasn't ready for any of that. I was just still doing dumb shit. But like I know I'm young and I'm still starting very young, but like I still think like imagine if I like knew everything that I knew now like 4 years ago.
Did I tell you what he did yesterday?
What do you do?
About mowing the lawn for my neighbor?
Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah. So I'm just to touch on it again real quick. I hear him and Brittany arguing, my wife, and I'm like, what are you guys talking about? And they're like rehearsing how he's going to go over and tell the neighbor, hey, your yard's too high and I want to mow it for you. Right? So he's like, hey, how should I do this? And I tell him, hey, son, you just need to walk up, knock on the door. Hey, dude, I'm Alec. I live across the street. Even though he already knows your name, just introduce yourself. I'm Alec. I live across the street. I noticed your grass was getting high. And I know we used to use the same lawn guy, but I've been cutting my yard for about 3 months. So I'd like to start mowing your yard too. And I would like to do it for $30, but today, since it's over 1.5 feet high, I would charge you double because I'm going to have to mow it twice. And then I would like to continue mowing it for you in the future. So he was like, you want me to say it like that? And I was like, yeah. I was like, don't worry about what your mom says, which I normally would never do. But I was like, don't worry about what your mom says. Go try that. So he walks over. I walk over with him. He does it. The guy goes, hey, man, I've got somebody coming to clean up the yard today. But starting next week, I would love for you to mow my yard. Right? So now this guy has his first job. He's got his first yard to mow. So to help him out as a father, I'm going to let him use my mower. Yeah. And Brittany's like, are you going to pay him to mow our yard? No. I'm not giving my kid any money. I'm not doing that. I would never give my kid anything. I think we talked about this before.
We did. We had a conversation about this yesterday.
Yeah, like I'll give you the tools to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
I'll help anybody in this world. If you want to be successful, give me a shout. I would love to help you. But I'm never going to give you the tools to be successful. I will give you the tools. I'm not going to give you money. I'll teach you how to make money. Mm-hmm. Are you going to do it?
That's up to you.
Are you gonna wake up and be motivated?
That's up to them.
Yeah. Are you gonna be different than the guy that you're not gonna be a professional race car driver or the world's best rapper if you don't get up and try. Like no matter what. I said those because they just seem so random, right?
Yeah.
People want to be race car drivers. Those people dedicate their fucking life to that. Those people that start rapping, they don't throw out one song.
No, dude, these people are making hundreds, if not thousands of songs. Like they're in the studio, just like this, 12 hours a day.
All right, so Jelly Roll, right?
I heard his story.
Yeah, Jelly Roll grew up in my neighborhood. I've known Jelly Roll for a very long time. Shout out to Jelly Roll. I've known, we had a mutual friend.
Come on the podcast, Jelly Roll.
Jelly Roll, please come on my podcast. We had a mutual friend. His name was Worm. He just recently passed. And I grew up with Danielle, Worm's wife, and we had a really cool friendship. Everyone knows Jelly Roll for being this super awesome country singer. Jelly Roll was like a hardcore rapper way before that. He rapped years and years and years before Gambling on a White Boy, Therapeutic Music, Whiskey, Weed, and Waffle House. This dude had albums at the 10-minute freestyle. This dude was putting out albums years for like 15 to 20 years. Dedicating his life, sleeping on couches, sleeping in vans vans, doing shows in Columbia, Tennessee. I've been on stage with the guy. I've been in music videos with the guy. I'm telling you, this dude done everything he could to get successful. That shit was not given to him. This dude's creeping on 40 years old really soon. He's my age. He's creeping on 40 years old. He didn't get it at a young age. But that dude busted his ass every fucking day. He dedicated his life to be better than he is yesterday. Every day he gets better. And now he's got a Brittany. You know, he's got his bunny, right? And she pushes him to be better every single day. His daughter, you know, Bailey, she's awesome. You know, a tragedy what happened to her mom, but she pushes him to be better. He surrounds himself with people who want him to be successful. You think they fucking mooch off him? No. He puts Bailey to work.
That's real love.
Right? He puts Bunny to work.
Yep.
Bunny has her own podcast, her own stuff. She had her own money. She put Jelly on for a long time.
Didn't she take care of him for a while?
For a long
in,
time.
Prison or something like that, and she was
still
there?
At this point in his life, this is when me and Jelly had like I don't know Jelly in his new life. I know old Jelly. I know skinhead, 3 or 4 tattoos on his face. I don't know full face, long hair Jelly Roll. I don't know him like that. So I don't know this new Jelly Roll, but you could see his life. His life is literally put out there because he's a celebrity. But the one thing you can say is that dude never quits. And he has a huge following and he wants to do better and he's out changing other people's lives. That's what I want to do. That's what you want to do. I don't want to just be successful. I don't want to just get money. The fucking boats that we have, right? The homes that we have, the pools we have, that don't make us happy. Are we happy while we're out there on the boat fishing?
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. But does that make our life?
What makes me happy at the end of the day is watching other people smile.
Absolutely.
Like, even if it's just something like super small. Like if I just bought someone like dinner, or if I just came home with something my sister was talking about for a little bit now. Like, just seeing the smile on their faces and seeing their appreciation is what makes me feel good inside. So when I get to the point where I can like provide more, then I feel like I'll be more happy giving than actually receiving.
So Jelly Roll, I don't know if you know this about Jelly. Jelly went to the juvenile detention center in Nashville, Tennessee, where he served time at, right? And donated, I don't know the dollar amount, but he put in a music studio to help change kids' lives. That dude wants to see the younger generation get better. He wants people to have the same chances he has. The opportunities are out there and they're endless, but are you going to take advantage of it? So sometimes they're blind opportunities. Sometimes the opportunity is right in front of your face and you're just scared to fucking do anything about it. You know, like I worked at Discount Tire for a long time.
Oh, I did too.
Did you?
I did.
No way? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I worked my way up to senior store manager.
I didn't get that far.
You didn't get that far. And I was in Nashville, Tennessee, and I loved Jeff Wagner. Boom. You know, same last name as you. He was one of the coolest dudes. He helped bring me up. He was awesome. I made some good friends. Victor Vogel, you know, he's one of the, you know, AVPs, area vice presidents there. We had a good friendship. You know, I wanted to be something different than what I had, but I didn't know what I wanted to do yet. You know, and even back then, like I was doing these skits. I was wearing mullets and stuff and having a hat, and I had this little thing. I called myself Terry Wayne. I was making fun of country people. It was funny. I liked it. Everyone liked it. Country people liked it. You know, rednecks liked the comedy I was making about being a redneck. It was funny. But I was like, nah, I'm not ready to take that leap. And this is before YouTube got crazy big too. So I was like, nah, I'm just going to focus on Discount Tire and I'm going to build my way all the way up, you know, get to store manager, make 6 figures and just be happy. I was never happy at all. You know, everyone around me was, you know, people were getting successful and I was getting pissed. My friend Trevor got promoted over me and I was like, what the fuck?
That's what you need, man.
You know, and it was hard to watch all my friends get promoted over me. And there were some friends, Trevor did deserve it, but there were some friends that didn't deserve it, right? So like I'm getting pissed and I'm like, what the fuck, man? What am I gonna do? Well, I was like, man, I just need to change the scenery. So I transferred down to Florida I was supposed to be in like South Florida and end up passing through Palm Coast. A real estate agent was like, hey, let me show you a house in Palm Coast. And I'm like, that's a long drive from work. So then I call corporate. Corporate's like, hey, you know what? We could use you over there in Daytona, Palm Coast, St. Augustine too. So go ahead and go there. So I go there and there's this promise, oh, you know, we're going to give you your store, yada, yada, yada. And it just never happened. So I was like, fuck it. I'm sick of it. I'm going to bet on myself. COVID just happened, right? And then my wife goes, what are you going to do? And when I was in the middle of buying my house, my mortgage guy, Andrew Cady, goes, hey, dude, you ever thought about doing mortgages? And I was like, no. Like, I never thought about doing mortgages. I work at Discount Tire. I make good money. I remember that dude saying, you make good money. But you can make really good money because, A, you got a great personality. People love you. You make a few real estate friends. You'll make really good money doing mortgages. And it'll free up your time so you can have more time with your family. Because at the time, I had 3 kids. And he was like, you got 3 beautiful boys. This dude is like giving me life advice. And I'm like, man, I need more people like this dude in my life. So he's like, I'll tell you what, man. He was like, if you want to do this, and go do mortgages, I'll hire you when you get done. I was like, all right, cool. Well, then another friend of mine, Dylan Hiltner, goes, hey, dude, if you take the test, right, I'll pay for it. I'll reimburse you for the course, but you're going to come work for me. I'm like, all right, cool, I'll do it. So I did it. I took the test. I was still working at Discount Tire. I was waking up at 5 a.m, driving to St. Augustine. I was working at Discount Tire. I was getting off at 5 and 6 at night. I was studying until like 10 o'clock at night. Putting my kids to bed, going back to studying and taking practice tests till about midnight. And then I was waking back up at 5 o'clock in the morning again. And I did that for a month straight. And I was like, fuck it, I'm going to go take the test. Took the test, passed it.
Remember the real estate exam?
You did that with the real estate exam?
I don't feel like I studied as much as like that. I really don't feel like I did that much.
Yeah.
I know I did. Like, I know I was sitting there like, dude, it was so fucking crazy. I was like falling asleep during the course. I was like, dude, this is so fucking boring. My mom was saying the same shit. She's like, yeah, it's really fucking boring. She's like, I'm so glad I didn't know how to do that. And she saw the screen. She's like, yeah, no.
Yeah.
Thank God I don't have to do that. So I'm like, dude, it was so fucking boring. But once you get it, it's like a relief. You know what I mean? Like, it took me a few times to pass a test. And I feel like I earned it more. Like, if I passed it the first try, I don't know if I'd appreciate it as much as I do now. You know what I mean? Like, I really appreciate it because I had to work for that. I had to go in multiple times. I had to spend more money to pass the test. You know what I mean? So
your mom was going to beat you if you failed that thing over and over.
I did for a little bit.
I'm going to tell you.
It took me 4 times to do it.
I'm going to tell you, your mom told me, she was like, yeah, my son's taking the test. I'm super proud of him. He's trying. She told me that you failed it once before. I didn't know you failed it multiple times, but she told me you failed it, and she was like, yeah, he's going back. I just can't wait for him to pass it. I'm gonna hire him. And I made a joke. I was like, what if he goes somewhere else? What if he doesn't want to?
We joke about that all the time too.
He doesn't want to go. He doesn't want to work for mom. He doesn't want nepotism. So,
hey, having access to your broker firsthand is the best thing ever.
Yeah. Mom.
Yes. Or just phone call instantly picks up.
I like
broker
that,
question.
I like that when you call your mom though. If it's about like if you're just like yesterday when we were going to get cameras and stuff, when it was something that was just about life, you're like, hey mom, yada yada yada. When it was about business, you were like, Jennifer.
No, I still call her Jennifer, even if it's not like, well, I'll be fucking around with her in the house. She'll get like mad at me or something. She'll be like, Jason, like Jennifer.
Jennifer.
Like, yes, Jennifer. It's so funny, dude.
Yes, chef. So after taking that leap and starting to do mortgages, dude, I had 6 months of savings saved up, right? And I was at Discount Tire, and they were like, hey man, we're ready to offer you a store. So here it is, right? They're gonna give me that
what you wanted.
6-figure salary, plus bonus.
That fucking... Bro, you were gonna be the manager.
Yeah, store manager's profit share. You can make 20% of store profits.
Yeah,
their profit per unit's like sometimes $100 per unit. So you're making bank, dude. You are making bank, right? So I know some managers in Tennessee that were making $400,000.
Oh yeah, I was told that when I worked at Discount Tire for like 6 months. They told us that. I'm like, I don't know.
It's crazy.
I know
And
that.
they take care of their people. That is an awesome company to have a 9 to 5 for. If you're gonna work a 9 to 5, the Bruce Holly team at Discount Tire, those people, that's where you need to go work if you're gonna do a 9 to 5.
I had fun for a little bit there, and then I started doing pressure washing, which I was still working my
Yeah.
9 to 5 then. And then after that, I was like, we kind of worked our way into detailing because we figured, oh, we know all these people, connections with my mom and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
So we just started that, and then after a month or so, I quit my job, and I was fine off of detailing. I was making what I was making at Discount Tire in a week and a day cleaning fucking cars. So
Isn't that crazy?
yeah.
So
It's called self-employment is fucking crazy, dude.
self-employment is crazy. Well, I took the leap, dude. You know, they offered me the store, and I was like, no. I was just done, man. I was done with customer service. I was done with retail. I was like, dude, I gotta get out of here. I gotta do something different in my life. And starting in this, dude, I didn't make $1 for 6 months. Savings is running out. Then boom, out of nowhere, I get my first loan, and then
So that's my process right now with real estate. That's literally my fucking process right now, dog.
And then I swung for the fences, dude. And then, I mean, look at me now. You know, you look at mortgagematchup.com in our area. You know, it's number 1 and number 2 is always me and Rick. You know,
That's awesome.
I got one of the best business partners in the world. You know, I've got a good crew of people behind me. I've got an awesome loan partner that helps out. My processor's great. You know, it's because determination though, and obviously personality. It takes a good personality. You have to learn to adapt to people and be a chameleon and be able to fit in any room you walk in. You know, sometimes I hate that center of attention. I hate that I'll walk in the room sometimes and then everyone just kind of flocks me. Like if we go to an FCAR event or something like that, or, you know, we go to a broker's open or something, and like I'm just getting flocked. Everybody's coming over. Sometimes I hate that. But I know, and my kids know, and my wife knows that like these events, you know, meeting people, the networking, that's the reason we got the house with the pool and the, you know, the boats and the RVs, and like we have that lifestyle because of the networking we do, of the motivation that we have. You know, so I would never change anything about my life because I love where it got me. But man, would I give that younger kid some good advice. And I hope you take some from me.
I do, man. I try and listen to as much older, wiser people as possible. You know what I mean?
Did we get that on recording? He said I was older and wiser. Did we get that?
He's not that wise. He's just a funny looking dude.
Funny looking. Yeah.
And he's a funny dude. Don't tell me. I'll roll a clip right now of you doing some fuck shit on the cruise. You know what? Fuck that shit. Roll the clip.
Roll the clip. Scuba Steve, take 1. You ready for the swimsuit competition?
Best exit from an elevator ever.
Oh, that's funny. It is on YouTube. You'll be able to pull that off, huh?
Yeah.
Dang it.
Rolling the clip.
That's all right. That's all right. You guys are going to enjoy this. It's pretty funny.
No, I already played it.
Yeah.
They already saw it.
They already saw it?
They already saw it.
Well, since you guys already seen it, listen, I think you should always have fun.
I think you should make the best out of everything possible because you never know. Tomorrow could be your last day, so live life to the fullest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Work too, I mean, obviously, but once you reach a certain age, you know what I mean? I mean, you should always try and make the best out of life every single day, but once you reach a certain age, you should start trying to enjoy life more. You know what I mean? Not so much let it revolve around work. Like when you're young and in your 20s, you should try your best to build your life like up to your 30s and like build your wealth, build your real estate, build every investment. And then so that way when you're 30, you set yourself up to where everything's pretty much automated. Like your business is making you money. You can go sit at home with your family and you're still making money.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could just enjoy life. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people make that mistake. That's why people spend their 20s fucking off. And then they get to their 30s, they're like, shit, I got to do everything that I was supposed to do in my 20s. Then they can't really enjoy life as much because they're too busy stressing about having to pay their mortgage
Yeah.
or their bills and stuff like that.
And then you start hearing that, like when you're doing better, you start hearing that, must be nice. Must be nice.
Whose fault was that in the beginning, though?
No, bitch. It must have been nice while you were out partying every weekend and I was busting my ass. You know, I was up editing reels. I was up, you know, doing mortgages for people or helping my wife do her woodworking or any of the businesses that we have, like the, you know, your pressure washing, your detailing, your Airbnb management, your real estate, like that stuff is crazy. You know, like an entrepreneur, man, I got like 10 jobs, dude. You know, it's
a full-time job, dude.
And it's okay. I've never bitched about working as much as I do because I have that financial freedom where my work doesn't feel like work anymore. It doesn't feel like it at all. I mean, I get to sit in the room and talk to you with some cool lights around us, cameras.
It's a pretty dope room, dude.
It is a dope room.
I like this setup a lot better than the desk shit.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta get like serious though and get across from each other.
Depends on what we're discussing. Like if we're doing a debate, for sure.
You want to do a debate on our next podcast?
What are we gonna debate?
I don't know. We'll just throw them some topics on the screen. We'll just click, or we'll ask viewers, "Hey, what do you guys want to hear us talk about?" And then we'll put the topics on the screen, and then we just debate. I can try to disagree with some of the stuff. Yeah, we agree a lot, but I will try and disagree with.
We can do more sensitive topics. I mean, I don't know if I'm sure we agree with the same politics, but that's who the fuck knows with that. That's a deep topic.
I would like everyone to view this podcast, so I'm not gonna share my political views.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? Fuck it. I don't care. I don't like either side.
Really?
Either side.
Yeah, I feel like it's become more of a meme, you know, at this point. But I feel like there is a logical choice between the two.
This is a Democrat. Right hand. This is a Republican. Right in the middle where the fucking head is. That's an American. And that's what I am. And I have some conservative beliefs. But I mean my conservative beliefs don't have a fucking thing to do with you. Do I believe in Christianity? Sure do. Do I curse like a sailor? Yeah, dude. I'm a U.S. Navy sailor, so I'm going to curse. And I apologize. Hopefully I can repent for that. Do I care about abortion? In my house, we don't do abortions. Me and my wife had that agreement when we got together 18 years ago. Hey, listen, you know, if we get pregnant, we're going to have the kid. Perfect. In my house, we don't agree with it. What you do in your house, I don't give a shit. Do I judge you? No. Do I think you're a horrible person? No. Do I think you should have the baby if you're gonna make the consequence to have sex with somebody? Do I think that you should go on and have the child too? Yeah. And then everybody goes, oh, what about rape or incest or yada yada yada? Shut the fuck up. That's like a very small, minute chance that shit's happening. Right? And then when you say shit like that, everything becomes rape. So, you know, like outside of those, I don't care about anything else. What I do care about is let's stop fucking helping every country on that fucking map and start worrying about the good old US of A and taking care of the stuff that we have here. You know, let's take care of our homeless people, right? Let's take care of our veterans. Let's make sure that, you know, our people are taken care of.
Should run for president.
I'm not running for president because people are going to hate me more than they hate Trump and more than they hate Biden. Yeah. You know, I fell off my bike too. So, you know, people are going to hate me more than they hate Biden. And honestly, I don't care about the hate. I don't care what people think about anything like that.
You know, there's a saying too, if you don't have haters, you're not doing it right.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to piss a lot of people off, but I will tell everybody here on this podcast.
Politics is different. Politics is crazy different.
Politics is something I'm getting in. 2026, I'm running for the city council for my zone for I forgot what they call them. Section 4. I'm going to be running for city council.
Nice. Like
I want to make a change, dude. I want people to understand that I'm not here to hurt anybody. I want to be a bipartisan person that can work with both parties and figure out a solution to get things fixed. It's okay that I have conservative views. Okay? Mm-hmm. I think that that's okay. But somebody's got to be able to talk to the people that don't have conservative views. And I can have that intelligent conversation. I would love to pull on somebody who has super far left views and we can debate them. I don't care. I'd like to pull somebody who has those super far right conservative views.
You
and
know,
I'll
that's a
debate
good
that
idea.
guy.
Get somebody on to debate with. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I mean, I have I like Daryl Boyer, right? He's running for state representative, the 19th district, which is our district. I want to pull him on, and I want to play devil's advocate, right? I want to play the other side, and then, see what we can do with him. He's a cool kid. I think he's going to do really good. I want to pull that Sam Greco kid on too. Like people don't understand like the inner works of politics. I was originally going to run for that seat. And then when I made the call that I was going to do it, I got a phone call from somebody a little higher up in politics. I'm not going to say his name, but he's currently still a big name member. And then he was like, hey, I'm going to back this gentleman. Would you consider stepping out of the race? And I was like, who was it? And he was like, he told me, Daryl Boyer. And I was like, I love Daryl. Absolutely. I'll step out for that. And the only reason for that, I don't care about the position or the authority. I know that my beliefs and I know that his beliefs and the way that we think and his motivation, I think Daryl's a good candidate for that. And I think he's a better candidate than me. So it's okay for me to step back. I believe that when other people can step up, it's okay for you to step back and go back to worrying about your own life. Yeah. It's okay. But then that same individual just recently called Daryl Boyer and was like, hey, I got this other guy I would like to put in your spot. Can we put him in your spot and then have you run for a different area? And Daryl's like, no, I can't do that. I'm going to tell you why I like Daryl. Daryl goes, hey, dude. The guy tells him, hey, if you don't move, I'm gonna make sure that this dude gets $100,000 in campaign money from me. And Daryl goes, sorry to hear about that, but you're about to lose $100,000. I'm like, ooh, that's the spiciness of politics that I wish was out in the open. The stuff that people don't talk about, the stuff that people try and hide and keep behind closed doors. Like people are like, ooh, insider information. Fuck it, let it out. Talk about it. Let that shit out.
Like top secret.
Yeah, everybody's trying to play top secret. I don't care.
The top secret stuff's the juicy stuff, man.
Yeah. I think there's some people, though, that don't, like, they're like, oh, I want to know. And then they hear about it. And they're like, oof, wish I didn't know that.
I'm sure. Definitely. 100%. But yeah, man, it's a good podcast.
All done?
All done.
All done. All right, dude. See you next time.
Next time, bro.